Hello again, YouTube. It is 5:53, Saturday, December 18th. Dang, I still haven't called my sister. It's the first thing I think of when I read the day. It's like, oh, December 18th, that's my sister's birthday. But then, of course, it's the last thing I'm thinking of once I'm doing anything else. So I just finished up. Well, yeah, I don't know that I did much to say I finished up, but just leaving Pack-In Store, or actually, no, sorry, it's U-Store at Sky Harbor. I hate things that change names, but I've been through that a million times. Anyway, oh God, my timing of showing up there couldn't have been more perfect. So yeah, made it to the post office in time. That's a good thing. That's my only order of the entire week, and I am feeling good. I got it shipped. It was actually a Christmas CD, and I got it shipped in time to arrive by Christmas. So yeah, I would have felt kind of felt like an asshole had I been late on shipping to the point that a Christmas CD didn't arrive in time for Christmas. And speaking of feeling like an asshole, so I was just thinking of something earlier today. This is a hawk. This is not where I was going with this video, but I've been wanting to do a video about this for a long time, and no better time than present. So this thing right here, this crosswalk with its light, which is not at an intersection, is a hawk, which stands for something. It's an acronym. I can't think of what it stands for, but at any rate, these are put in places where there's presumably a high amount of pedestrian traffic, resulting in potential fatalities due to fatalities or injuries, pedestrians getting run over, especially in situations where you've potentially got a lot of people needing to cross a road and you're not near an intersection, which that actually this spot here meets that description. What I got on the south side here is it's a family shelter, women's shelter, family shelter. It's called the U-Mom shelter, and they've got like a whole facility there with services for homeless families. And then what is on the other side is a large apartment complex, which I believe is like rent control, like they do Section 8 and programs like that. I don't think every resident in there is a Section 8 type person, but definitely it's a large apartment complex. I'm sure it's private, but large apartment complex that does accept a lot of those kind of programs. So yeah, a lot of times people, after they're on the waiting list to get on a program, move from here to here. Also, a lot of people, if they're down on their luck to the point that they're living here or even here, don't have transportation. Although I think most people that live there have cars. I see a lot of vehicles going in and out that gated entrance. But definitely a lot of people that are down to the point where they're living in the shelter or without a car. So needing to come and go from that bus stop. And I'm not against the concept of a hawk per se. Honestly, I'd rather see a standard traffic light at an actual intersection. But this is actually one of the rare occasions where I do think the hawk kind of serves a purpose because yeah, there's no intersection for quite a ways here to the east and the west, and there's a definite need for people that are at the shelter to go to that bus stop. But it just occurred to me when I got off the bus at that bus stop to go over to my storage facility that hawks give pedestrians an obscene amount of power, because when I went to cross the street, there wasn't any traffic, but just out of habit I hit the button and it told me to wait, and just like right now I didn't, because there wasn't any traffic. It's changing quicker than it did last time, but now it's red. Now that traffic got to stop. I'm already across the intersection, but yeah, those guys got to stop. I know they all got to wait. Well, I've already gone where I need to go, but yeah, they're waiting. Okay, now it blinks. Now, not all of them everywhere do like that, but now it blinks. And at this point, like the way the signage is, once it's blinked, people can treat it as a stop sign. But as you see, most people don't read, and so they're just still sitting there, even though the light is blinking. But they're all still sitting there because that blinking light, they don't realize they can go. and they'll actually sit there until the light is done blinking, which to me is hysterical. But yeah, they just all chose to sit there that extra time. And as you see, it says right on it, sorry, my digital zoom sucks. Flashing red, stop, proceed when safe. Constant stop on red. But as you saw, most vehicles, they'll stay stopped on the flashing red because, well, I guess expecting people in this neighborhood to be able to read in English is asking a lot. But man, let's do this again. This is fun. This is fun. All right. Got a bicycle on the sidewalk, which isn't where they belong, but there's no bike lane, so he's got to go somewhere. Oh, and it's yellow, and there goes another bike. Let's do this again. This is fun. Anyway, yeah, last time when it changed, I was completely across the intersection. Before it changed, I was walking off. I saw a whole lot of traffic stop. Now, these guys are a little smarter. He started moving once it started flashing. Now, that's funny. Those guys are running through it without, those guys ran through it without even stopping. Like it says you're supposed to stop when it's flashing and then go. But yeah, those people just went rolling right through it after the guy in front of them. They're like, oh, we don't have to stop now, and just kept rolling. So as you can see now, the Hawk, not really understood by drivers and easily abused by pedestrians. That was a fun diversion. All right, so what's up with me? That's not what I was going to do with this video. I was just going to talk about what's going on tonight. Got my eBay order sent. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's my last potential get shipped by Christmas order. So I expect I'll have quite the slowdown now. Although to be honest, like everything pretty much came to a halt last week, and a lot of that is on me. I haven't really been listing much product. In fact, in the last like 2 weeks, I think I've listed all of one Usher CD. So yeah, if I expect to get more sales, obviously I got to put some more time into photographing and listing. Jesus, I can talk. Photographing and listing product. Yeah, my motivation to do that has been not really good, and a lot of that stems from the fact that I just really don't want to be at that apartment with things the way they are between Priscilla and I, and just the whole. Yeah, I'm just not happy with that dynamic at all, and a lot of that boils down to yeah, she don't want to, you know, she don't want to have sex, and it's, you know, it's, that's kind of petty, is it? I was having a conversation with one of her best friends about it, and I told her, it's like, you know, how long would you wait while your significant other said no before you decided? And she's like, well, she said that you gave her an ultimatum and you were gonna bang out other women. I'm like, well, I don't think that's unreasonable. So how long would you wait? How long would you go with your needs not being met and being told no before you went on, you know, and looking for someone else? And she started, you know, going, well, that's something you got to sort out. I'm like, no, I'm asking you a question. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you. How long would you wait? And she's like, I don't know, probably about a month. I'm like, yeah, it's been way longer than that. And to be clear, at this point in time, it hasn't been longer than that. But you know what I mean? Just a couple of isolated, not so great incidents after a whole lot of nothing is still. That's more of a tease than anything. But I digress. God, I didn't want to talk about that, but it's just forefront of my mind, and it's also why I'm in no real hurry to go home right now. I mean, I could run and grab that bus right in front of me. I could hustle and get to that bus, and that'd take me over to 44th Street and take the 44 home. But I really don't want to go home right now. So I'm just kind of walking through the hood, looking for another button I can push to fuck with traffic. Or maybe a crack whore. Kind of kidding on the crack whore. Or maybe I'm not. I was riding the train home last night from Finish Line, and I don't think I really clarified what all happened with me last night. I had that video. I was going down McDowell, and then suddenly I was like, ooh, there's a bus. And I was right. It was way earlier than it was. Oh, I need to talk about that. That was crazy. God, I wish I had an easy way to just add screenshots from my phone and photographs from my phone into these videos, because That was the craziest thing. And I watched the end of that video, and it doesn't really show, like, you see the bus, but you don't really see the bus, because basically I was like running frantically trying to get it, and kind of hit the button and abruptly ended the video. But what happened there was like I started shooting that video at Central in McDowell, where I unceremoniously took a piss in the alley behind the CVS, because for whatever reason our transit stations here don't provide restrooms, in spite of the fact that it takes often 2 to 3 hours to get any place you're going. That seems like a long time to expect somebody to not have to go to the bathroom. But especially, you know, when you're in a climate where you really need to make a point to be hydrating yourself, and part of hydrating yourself is letting the hydration out. So anyway, yeah, so I did that video, and the reason I started shooting that video is like, yeah, I've got a good, I knew that I had a good 20 to 25 minutes until the bus was going to show up, and I shot at best, I don't know, 8-10 minutes of video, I forget exactly. But so yeah, that bus, seeing that bus took me by surprise. But one thing I've certainly learned as a bus driver is grab that bus when you can. I mean, for all I know, it could have been the bus I was waiting for, just suddenly made insanely good time, and it was early, and if I didn't get it, that was the last bus of the night, so I better freaking get it. But it still popped my brain when I saw it, because it's like, how the hell did it get here so fast? And what the status was, and I didn't even get a chance to mention, I was going to mention, I got distracted by having to pee, and the random homeless people that were camping in front of CVS, and the Vietnamese restaurant in a building that looked like an old Denny's that I'd never noticed before, that had a staff actively doing something even though they've been closed for several hours. Yeah, so distracted, and then suddenly bus. But as I was approaching the light rail station on Central, approaching McDowell, I was checking to see how I'd end up timing the transfer to the McDowell bus, and it pretty much ended up how I expected it would be when I was looking at the schedules earlier, in that I had just missed a McDowell bus, and that's how it showed it was going to probably time out. But yeah, I just barely missed one. I don't know why they schedule them like this, but they do. Honestly, I think there's just very little thought given to how transfers work. They just do the route and they time it, and it's like, we got a bus on that road, let's work on another road. It just seems like there's very little thought going into how people actually use this transit system here. So yeah, so I just barely missed a transfer at the time that my train arrived, and that by design. That's what time that McDowell bus should have went. That's what time that train arrived. Nobody running late. Everything just exactly according to, holy shit, why is this plan so bad? And the McDowell bus I just barely missed, according to the GPS in the app, it was at 12th Street. So yeah, I arrived just in time to miss that bus by a mile. Yeah, bus gained a whole mile by being scheduled in such a way that people can't make that transfer. And the next bus that was coming to me, I think was at like 75th Avenue. So it's supposed to arrive in about 28 minutes. Yeah, so it only runs every 30 minutes. So they schedule these buses to where, where when you get off the train, the bus leaves like 3 minutes before the train arrives. So you can't make the transfer. That's how it's planned. And then wow, it's a new VA clinic going in here. That's pretty exciting. I wonder if this is going to be as much of a train wreck as the old VA clinic up on Indian School. It seems like I already noticed that was going, but it's the first time I've really seen that sign. I don't usually walk up this street. Usually if I'm on the street, I'm on, well, not that bus, because that's a not in service bus. I don't even get me started on all these buses that go up and down the streets that say not in service. Like, why not? You're a bus. You're going down the street. Pick up passengers. That's not too much to ask. So, Oh god, derailed my train of thought again. This is a little complicated. So anyway, yeah, so that's how it's scheduled. So and the McDowell bus at night only runs every 30 minutes. So it's really shitty. Like they've designed it and they scheduled it in such a way that when you get off the train, you have by schedule missed the buses just left 3 minutes ago, which means you've got over 25 minutes until the next bus. It's pretty freaking lame. Wow, something going on at Celebrity Theater. That's pretty cool. This is a great venue. Horrible location, but great venue. One of the best shows I've ever seen in my life have been at this venue. Everything from Dan Fogelberg to Smashing Pumpkins to Richard Cheese. That's not where I was going with it, but yeah, Richard Cheese. Anyway, I have no idea who's playing Celebrity Night, but that sign looks like it says Steve Vai. Steve Vai. That's a pretty freaking awesome guitarist right there. Nope, January 28th. I have no idea who's playing here tonight. I don't see him. There's a show happening though. As you see, they got spikes and pretty secure parking lot here because you are in the hood. Fillmore and 32nd Street, by the way. I'm headed northbound. So anyway, back to the situation with the poorly scheduled thing. Yeah, so by design, like you get off that train, and it is planned that you have to stand there at that corner where there's an abundance of homeless people camping out for 25 plus minutes. It just seems insane that they would schedule them like that, but that's how they're scheduled. So double checked it because there was a good chance. There was a good chance that one that I would be missing by 3 or 4 minutes might be running late. The McDowell bus is often running late. So, I've always wanted to walk up this path, and I've never really had the opportunity to. I'm gonna do it. If you go way back through my vlogs, I had a couple that were about a street that has been almost eliminated from the Phoenix City, that apparently used to be a rural street called Randolph Drive.